I think we really need to understand the concept of it. We're talking about money, 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 money. Why money? What money? Wealth, poverty, richness. What makes you poor? What makes you rich? What makes you scarce? What makes you abundant? So, we're going to talk about all these things. I want to start with asking you a very important question. And my question is, how do you feel about money? I want to know, how do you feel about money? What's your take on money? Please go ahead and just bombard the chat. Hard to earn, all right. Conflicted, okay. More, okay. What else? How do you feel about money? What's your feeling when the word money comes to mind? Fun, I like that. Fun, okay. Interesting. Holidays, stability, certainty, all right. All right. Family, responsibilities, right? You're thinking responsibilities when you think of money. Nice, great. Supporting people. Very nice. Very nice. Finance. So financial stability or having that safety net that all of us really want. Taxes. Okay. Okay, we're thinking taxes now. All right. How we feel about money is explained pretty much in this chat box. Maximum number of emotions related to money, related to the concept of money, are sort of negative, detrimental, or they're basically products of needs and urgencies. So you see, what happens is our association with money by itself is a very negative, detrimental association. Now there's money IQ and there's money EQ. Money IQ is the taxes, like Yash mentioned. You're talking about taxes, you're learning finances. That's money IQ. You're learning about financial investments, how to deal with your money, how to park your money, how to probably spend in stocks and shares, or where to invest. You're talking about money in its practical commodity and usage. Now, what I'm talking to you about today is called money EQ, not money IQ. Money EQ is your emotional quotient with money, which means what is your relationship with money? How do you relate to money? Now, I'm pretty sure that if I have to kind of go back into a little bit of our childhoods, some of us come from good families in terms of affluent families, where you've not really had the struggle for money. But you grew up with a lot of entitlement that I have money and others don't. And then we have people who've struggled. Struggled in what way? You wanted to go for a holiday with your friends and your parents probably said, no, not now. We don't have the money. We can't afford it. You probably wanted to buy a new laptop or a regular computer for your house to be able to do what? Play games maybe, or buy a new video game for yourself. And your parents said, no, not now, we can't afford it. You've probably seen family disputes. You've seen arguments in the family between relatives, brothers, sisters, siblings, fighting over money. You see partnerships breaking over money. You've seen divorces because money plays an important and integral part in everybody's lives. You've seen money being misused in terms of power and position. So naturally, how do we think of money? We think of money as, oh God, it's the root cause of all evil, isn't it? That's what money really is. But I'm going to give you a new perspective, and I would love for you to try it out. Money is actually very, very beautiful as a concept, because either we think if we love money, we're greedy, and if we don't like money, then either we're entitled or we're stupid. But that's not true. Neither of these are true. Money must have a relationship with you that is positive, that is abundant. There are two types of mindsets. One is the abundance mindset, and the other is the scarcity mindset. Okay. I'm pretty sure. All right, I'm going to come to the questions later, V. We'll talk about it in some time. Let me just try and explain the concept to you first. The abundance mindset and the scarcity mindset. These two mindsets are two different spectrums, all right, of money. You think of money, you think of these two. What are these two mindsets and where do they come from? Now, the benchmark to both these mindsets is enough, just enough. More than enough, abundant. Less than enough, scarce. More than enough to survive, to live your luxuries, to have the comforts, abundant. Less than enough, scarce. This is about the money. But do you know something? The mindset has nothing to do with the money in your bank account. It has to do with the way you think of the money, whether it's parked in your bank account or not. When I talk about a scarce mindset, I'm talking about people who think, I don't have enough. People who are slightly miserly, people who are always looking at the negative. No, 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 I don't think I can afford this. No, 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 I don't think I can do this. No, this is a bad idea. No, I don't think I can invest. I don't think I can go out to eat. I don't think I can afford to bring regular things at home. Abundant mindset on the opposite side is basically you kind of thinking about money and being like, hey, yeah, I have a lot of it. But again, it's not there. It's not practically there. You're thinking it. You're just thinking it. That's it. All right. Now, money EQ is a beautiful concept. And I want you to just make a note for yourselves that what relationship do you think you have with money? Make a note. I would like you to do that right away. Make a note. Put it down. What is the relationship I have with money? I'm usually associating money with what kind of emotions? I'll tell you. The emotions that come to mind when you're thinking money, when you're thinking wealth, it's guilt, it's responsibility, it's sadness of having a little less or not having abundance, it's anxiety and the fear of not making enough at the end of the month because you have to pay your bills, you have mouths to feed, you are probably the breadwinner of the family, you have lots of things going on around you, and you're going to tell me this, that Zarina, you know what you're talking about is too spiritual. Let me tell you, the idea of money EQ isn't coming entirely from me. There is a very famous author called Ken Honda, and Ken Honda is also known as Japan's Zen millionaire. Okay, why? Because Ken Honda once had a conversation. He's kind of spoken to 12,000 odd people around the world. Okay, on the concept of money, and his mentor is by the name of Wahi Takeda. Wahi Takeda is sort of the Warren Buffett of Japan. That's what they call him. So the people I'm talking about right now are rich. They're successful people. They have a fortune and they have abundance. I'm not talking about people who are sitting on top of a mountain hill and spiritually telling me, oh, money is nothing. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who have proven that it is not spirituality. It's a mindset. So this Ken Honda, he has written a book called Happy Money, and I would like for you to probably give it a read if you like someday. He has written in his book that he spoke to Wahi Takeda, his mentor, and he said, you know, I've met lots and lots of different millionaires and successful business people around the world. And let's assume I meet a particular person, very rich, very affluent, and I say, do you feel rich? And the answer is no. I don't feel rich right now. I have $1 million, but you know what? I will feel rich when I make $10 million. So he says, okay, fine. Then he speaks to another guy. This other guy says, I have $10 million, but you know what will make me rich? What will make me feel rich? If I have probably a private jet. Now he spoke to a guy who has a private jet, and the guy who has a private jet says, you know what? I'm not feeling rich with this private jet because it's only probably a 6-seater. I'd like something that is a 10-seater. So the key was that rich people don't feel rich. They don't feel rich. They're not thinking rich at all. Whatever they have, they want to make more. That goes for all of us, rich or not. He asked Wahi Takeda, why is this? And how are you making so much money? How are you so wealthy? And how are you so zen about it? It's not bothering you at all. You don't mind it. Money comes, money goes, you're okay with it. I've seen your process. So Wahid Takida says, what I do on a daily basis is I arigato my money. Now you might ask what arigato money is. Arigato means thank you. In Japanese, absolutely means thank you in Japanese. And arigato money is basically understanding that money is not a commodity. And yes, money can buy happiness. I'm not going to deny that at all. I'm not going to tell you money can't buy happiness and you should not have money. No, you have to be able to multiply your money with an abundant mindset while you make money, while you work hard. Because arigato, the money, means that when you're giving money to somebody, what do you say? What do you say to them? What do you say to the person when you're giving money? Naturally, thank you. When you receive money, you say the same. But you say this to the person, not to the money. You say this to the human being or the person. And in fact, let me tell you, most of us, we feel embarrassed to ask for our own money. Have you ever given a friend some loan or a family member a loan, and then, time's passing by, they're living the best life you can see, and you feel embarrassed to ask for your own money. At the end of the month, when you get a salary check, you're embarrassed not to take it. You want it very much, but you're embarrassed because, oh, it's money, you just have a very subtle way of dealing with it. Why? Arigato your money, meaning respect your money. You don't respect your money, money will not respect you. Respect your money and thank your money, not only the person. So the concept and the technique, I'm going to come to that in a bit. It's called the Arigato money technique. And I have spoken about it in my podcast as well. But here we are. So we'll have this conversation together. I want you to understand this is how you want to go about thinking. You'll ask me, how do I think about money, Zarina? And I'm going to tell you this. What happens at the end of the month when you have to pay bills? What are you thinking? You just got your paycheck, correct? You got your paycheck. It's gone into your account, but you know that now, supposing I have 50,000, 20,000 in my account. Okay, now from this 20,000, one by one, it's going to get debited. Maybe an EMI, maybe a loan, paying your house help or the child's school fee, or you have to pay the electricity bill, bring rations for the month, right? When money comes in, you're prepared mentally that, oh, I have made money because the money is going out. Am I right? What is that feeling when you're actually going to spend the money? Bad, not feeling too good. And you're just thinking, Arey yaar, abhi to paisa aaya, abhi just aaya, abhi wapas chala gaya. Matlab, you didn't even get the time to enjoy it, right? So the first thing that you do is understand if you're spending on electricity, what are you thinking? Oh God, I have to pay my electricity bill because that's what I need to do. Otherwise, they'll cut off the electricity. Instead, what you want to think is, thank you for giving me the light and giving me the power and the electricity to be able to live comfortably. When you go and buy groceries and you say, so much kharcha, so much groceries, so much I have to pick up and so much I have to buy, the thing you need to tell yourself is thank you, because the money that I have made is allowing me to eat well, to sustain well, to enjoy my needs, my comforts. If not too much luxury, at least your needs. But you're getting to use the money in a positive manner. Money can be happy, money can be sad. If money is given to somebody else, have you heard of, how they say in Urdu, barkat? I don't know if you've heard of this word, right? When you think that, okay, this person's money has barkat in it. That is a word that's used in Urdu, in Arabic. Now, this word basically means that when I'm using my money to help somebody positively, somebody asked for money, I said, yeah, okay, I can help you. Let me see what I can do. Fine. But if I am not giving the money with all my heart, the money is not being very useful to the other person. Because money is not a commodity. I would like you to think of money as an energy, as water, probably, or as air, the air you breathe. It's as good as it's going to come and it's going to go. It's going to come to you and it's going to go. That's money. That's the job of money in your life. Okay. Now, there are people who do not like to spend at all. They're constantly saving, compulsive savers. They're constantly saving their money. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. There are just such people in the world. They're kind of divided into these. There are people who are compulsive spenders, meaning they will spend more than they have. Then there are people who will keep saving and saving and saving. And they know that, okay, now I've saved all this money. And the time comes and they spend all of it together. So they're compulsive spenders, savers and spenders. Question is, what kind of a spender or a saver are you? Are you balanced? Are you somebody whose first reaction to buying anything usually is no? Are you somebody who's, say, trying to sacrifice their own needs or their own wants in order to just make sure that they're saving the money and it's not being used? Just there in the bank, you're satisfied to see the numbers. For instance, are you one of those people? Are you one of those people? Are bindas chal na paisa use kar lete, which is wrong, of course, but are you one of those people? I would like to know. Anybody? No, BD, I did not say it's bad. Anything in balance is good. Anything in extreme is bad. Saving and making sure that you are saving for a purpose and making sure that you're spending while you are in your moment is important. So saving is extremely important. Compulsive savers are those people who sacrifice their own needs constantly to save. So if you have your spouse or a family member or your children telling you that, hey, you know what, can we buy this or can we buy that? And you say, no, I can't afford it. You just stop there. Maybe you can afford it, but you just say, I can't afford it, and you leave it at that. The idea of money is not only to save or spend. The idea of money is to save correctly and spend correctly. That is called financial discipline. That is called financial growth. That is called multiplying your money. Knowing when to save, knowing when to spend. That is the importance of money EQ. And the emotional concept or the connect that you have with money changes the EQ. It gives you abundance just by the thought of it. Let me tell you, most rich people are very dissatisfied with their lives. And so, we have these stereotypes around us. Have you seen stereotypes where people talk about they're greedy? They're powerful, they're greedy, and they're in a position. So they constantly want more and more and more. And we want to, when we see success, we see rich a lot of times and we confuse that. And then sometimes you've seen old films where they show you a small house and a very modest family who's eating little do roti and they're still very, very hospitable. Why? Because they have EQ. Rich people who've reached a certain level have great money IQ. They know what to do with the money. But they don't have money EQ to know how to spend, save, or how to create abundance, which is also going to be useful to other people. Every philanthropist that you hear of is not really a philanthropist. It's a way of dealing with their taxes. It's a way of dealing with a lot of things that help them. Sometimes it's real, sometimes it's not. So the idea is to make sure that you understand the difference between these two. And yes, greed is good, greed is not bad. I completely agree with that. I would like you to tell me, what do you think should your relationship with money be? You're telling me all these things, so I'd love to know a little more. Good. When you say good, I'd like an adjective. What kind of adjective can you attach yourself and your money to? What's your relationship? So, for example, when I make money, when I see money coming into my bank account, I always say, thank you, money. Thank you. I respect you and I love you. When I spend money, even when I'm spending money and buying groceries and I have a little, say 20, 30, 100 rupees to show and I have to put that on GPay, I take a moment, I take about a few seconds while I do this and I tell myself, thank you, money, for being good to me, and please be good to the person it's going to. That's what I do. I'm not being grateful just for getting what I'm getting. I'm being grateful to the commodity, to the energy that is allowing me this whole process. The whole process is something that's going to continue your entire life, whether you like it or you don't. You do it negatively or positively or neutrally, it doesn't matter. The process continues. That's not changing anytime soon, is it? But we thank people, we thank things, but we do not respect our money. Some people use money loosely, and some people become very entitled when they have money. Have you seen? Have you seen how people can also, yes, money can also make you fearful. Can you kind of elaborate that, Yash? It'll be nice for everybody if you can elaborate what fearful means. But it makes you anxious, or you may feel like you lose it. Absolutely. You feel like you lose it. You can be insecure. You can be fearful. And the more you have, yeah, because then you want a lifestyle that you're sustaining. Look, I am not going to argue with you or debate with any of you as to money being negative or positive. What I'm trying to get to is the mindset you're using your money with. Money is money. It's important. It's beautiful. I love it. If you call me greedy, that's fine. But I'm hungry to grow. And when I make money, I feel great. So do you. But I also feel great when I spend money even on the smallest things, even if it's just fuel for the car. No doubt if it's expensive or not. But if I'm getting my vehicle to move from one point to another and it's helping me, everything I'm doing is helping me, whether it's groceries, whether it's an electricity bill, whether it's a phone bill, it's helping me. I am going to be thankful and grateful to it. And that is the importance of money EQ. So I'm going to give you 2 to 3 things that you can possibly do and, create better money EQ for yourselves. And by that, please trust me, I don't mean just say yes to everybody who comes and says, can you spend money on me? Right? Or if somebody's asking for something random and you say, yeah, no problem. Arigato, my money EQ. We've spoken to Zarina and this is how I'll become abundant. No. Money EQ is you having a sensibility and an emotional relationship. Not a relationship of fear, not a relationship of doubt and insecurities, not a relationship which makes you feel like I don't have enough. Maybe you don't. Not denying that. But constantly thinking I don't have enough does not mean you will have more. Changing your mindset will help you to actually solve this puzzle and to actually stretch your perspective to make more. To be able to do something that you can go ahead and do with all your heart, make money out of it. That's the reason why people say, follow your dream, follow your passion. People who do something, small or big, but they do it with good intention, it usually ends really well for them. It makes them or gives them the comfort of the life that they're looking for. It allows them to feel fulfilled and purposeful at the same time. It also makes them feel like they're useful to society, they're useful to humanity. But people who use money as a power tool and they use money as a way to subdue others, eventually they land up in a very lonely position. And I'm not saying this from the non-pragmatic side of things. I'm saying this from a very rational and pragmatic point of view. I've seen many clients who've changed their EQ about money and they have seen growth. They have seen growth because they see money differently. And as soon as they see money differently and respect the money and love the money and trust that their money is being used well, they're able to see growth. But the people who continue to use money in a powerful negative manner, right? To steal from somebody, to snatch somebody's rights, to take away somebody's things, that kind of money is not very useful for very long. And when it gets used, it's still unhappy money. Now, that's a separate concept, so I won't go there. But I'm going to give you these very simple 2 techniques that you need to use. One is you arigato your money, like I said. And trust me, this is not what I'm saying. Google it if you like. Check what Ken Honda says, what Wahi Takeda actually does with his money, and you will realize he's a very rich man, and the author himself is known as a millionaire. So I'm not talking really out of my head here. I'm talking with some kind of, proof of concept. So what you do is While spending money, thank your money. Let the money flow. Let the money flow. Let it go out. Let it come in, but let it happen with a positive vibe. Thank your money, not just the person, the commodity. Thank, like the air we breathe, thank money just like that. Okay, be grateful to your money. And also think that now that I've received this money, I will make sure to create more out of this. That's what you think. Arigato in when you get money, arigato out when you spend money. The other thing you do is on a daily basis, I think, probably at night, if you can, write down three things that you are happy to spend money on, whether it's a cup of coffee, whether it's you paying a bill, whether it's you taking a little niece or nephew or one of the kids in your house out for probably an ice cream. But whatever made you happy to spend money, put it down. Put it down, because those are the little things that count. So probably three things that you can do to actually make you feel like you've put money to good use. So if you've given it to probably somebody who requires some charity, put it down, not to tell anybody else. You don't need to tell everybody that you're doing charity, but for your own good, for your own satisfaction, and to know that you're compassionate, you like money and you're compassionate about it, it'll really help. So these are the two techniques that I think you should sort of focus on. Now I'm open to questions, and I think I can start taking a few. No, BD. The mindset does not come when you have spare. The mindset is already there, whether you have spare or not. I've seen very many people, like I said, and from different walks of life, very industrious and doing really well for themselves, but they have a lot of money, but they don't have the mindset. That's exactly the point. The money EQ is there, the money IQ is not. Okay. Isn't saying thank you to your money a little strange? You say thank you to people, okay? You say thank you to. So when I'm asking you to show gratitude, what will you show gratitude to? The one commodity that you're using for everything in your life. Is that actually that strange? It just shows that we underrate the concept and we use. If I say I love money, the first thought somebody will have is she's greedy, right? That's the thought you'll have. Now, somebody said greed is good, other people may not think so. But when you say you love money or you respect your money, you're working hard to earn it. Shouldn't you love it? Shouldn't you have any good emotion towards it? Should you just ill treat it? What happens when you ill treat people? What happens when you ill treat things around you? What happens when we ill treat nature? We've seen what's happened, global warming. Now, one commodity, since the age of the barter system and the times of Mesopotamia, you're telling me that it's strange to actually show respect to the one thing that allows you to exchange everything else, to bring you your happiness, to give you value, to give you that holiday. I don't think it's strange, but I think once you try it out, you will realize it's not. That's the thing. Now, this is where the scarcity and the abundant mentality comes in. All right. How do you feel good about money if you don't have enough? Question is, what is enough? What is enough? When I'm telling you that a person with 10 million thinks he's not rich because he's not made 100 million, the question is, what becomes enough for you? And you should have it written down somewhere. You should have it created somewhere that this is the amount of money I want to be able to, amount of money and wealth rather, that I want to make and create for myself this year, next year, in the next 6 months. Have a vision of being abundant, that you are good enough to be able to create it, and then you will. And this is not a pep talk. This is not something that I'm telling you without experience. Everybody is not born with a silver spoon, and all the struggle stories, all the success stories that we see of people are people who've struggled hard in their lives to get somewhere. That happens when you have a certain mentality. So when you're telling me that it's something you can't think of well because you don't have it, well, think of it like this. You haven't gone for a holiday in the last 2 years, right? You haven't gone for a holiday. You haven't been out, probably because of the pandemic. And yet, when you think of it, does it make you happy or sad when you think of a holiday? When you think of a holiday, will you feel good or bad? So, why can't you think of money and feel good? Why can't you think of money? Why are you always thinking about, oh, I don't have it. I don't have it. So I can't think well about it. Not necessary. You can think of a place and feel good. You can think of a person and feel good. You may not have that person in your life, but you can feel good about them. Same goes for money. Why is money such a taboo topic? And why is money always treated so? It's ill treated, actually. It's ill treated. Either you love it or you hate it. Most people hate it. Very few people love it. And the ones who love it, they love it out of the greed or the power, like I said, the power and the position or the entitlement of having it. How about I switch it up a little bit? A little bit, okay? We can like our money, if not love it. We can like what it does for us when we have it. When we have it, it does something for us. Like it at that time, at least. How to ask for more money if you think you deserve it. I won't be too spiritual about this. Like I said, I'm being really rational. This conversation is not about spirituality. Money EQ is for real, guys. Changing your mindset is for real. If you're constantly thinking it's less, it's always going to be less. Even when you have more, it will be less. But if you think, yeah, no, I can make more, I can do more, I'm able to do it, I will manage, you will be able to. And then if you have less, it'll still be more. If you have more, it'll be enough. So you have to keep that in mind. But to make more, of course you deserve it, Karina. You have to deserve money. To make more money, you need to be grateful to the money, and you need to be able to find more than one source of income. That I truly believe. Okay, I truly believe that you must be able to find more than one source of income. Everybody's life is revolving around two things: productivity, guilt, and burnout. Burnout because you're exhausted at work. You become cynical. You become cynical about money. You become cynical about life. You become cynical about relationships. Negative, cynical, dismissive. Okay. So one is burnout and the other is productivity, guilt. Whatever you do is not enough. You feel like I could have done more. And you do all this, you say all this because you feel that your life revolves around work. No work, no money, no future, no way of dealing with your life. It's kind of a hostile relationship then. So in my opinion, an important aspect is to be able to first see through the fact that you need to tell yourself and you need to put it down that, hey, so far I have seen my parents have this kind of a relationship with money. I've seen maybe my siblings have this kind of a relationship with money. I want to change my relationship with money. Once you do that, it's very possible for you to change the way you're earning and to be able to multiply that wealth and increase different streams of income as well. When does being ambitious become being greedy? Like, greed is not bad, ambition is definitely not bad. And I think, Sudha, to answer your question, I have to say, ambition in men, nobody will question. Ambition in women, everybody questions. So ambition by itself is not bad. But when a woman sounds like she's a little, out there, she's doing well for herself, she wants to grow, you think of the word ambition. Ambition is a beautiful word. It means you have a drive. You have a drive to do something. If you're doing it only for money and only to keep getting something for yourself without sharing, you know how there's a saying, a giver sleeps well and a taker eats well. So a person who knows how to give, who knows how to share, sleeps well. They're just happier people. And this is a research. People who know how to give and receive very, very productively, effectively, they will never see a problem in terms of how they're making money. They will do it in a very effective and a very positive manner. People who are constantly taking, you might have some relatives or friends in your lives who only come crying. They do not have any other job in life. They only come crying. And when you see them, they're doing well or they're doing whatever they want to do. So even with the little that they have, those people are probably, you have addicts in the family sometimes. They are into alcoholism or alcohol abuse or things like that. And you realize that for all of these silly things, they come to you for money. That's why neither they have money, neither will you give them your money, because that's not the way it works. You want to help people who deserve help. You want to be there doing good things for people. So greed and ambition are two words that, in my opinion, if balanced, work beautifully. Greed is not bad. A book by, I think, Rashmi Bansal, Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish. I'm sure you've heard of it, right? So if you read that, you'll get a little idea about this. But ambition is fantastic as long as you're ambitious enough to love, respect whatever you are doing with your life, and to be able to do something for society and do something for yourself. So right now, most of you sound like you're stuck in jobs which you do not like, which you don't want to go to, but you have to for your paycheck. So naturally, you don't love your money, you don't love your job, you don't love your life. So what exactly are we doing here? Think about it. You've got to start loving something to be able to have a better approach towards something else. Somewhere. Otherwise, you are not living, you are existing, merely existing, and that is just you being robotic in a cycle, in a loop, right? We have to avoid that by all means. We must. Absolutely, Amira. Money doesn't have to equal life at all. Money is something that can be productively used to enhance your life or to decimate your life. Okay? And that is what happens. Most people decimate their lives because of money, because they don't have enough, or they're stuck because of it, or, like I said, relationships suffer most. We've seen most relationships suffer in our lives because of money. So for us, money is like, oh, Baba, that Pesa Pesa song. Then you have Money, Money, Money by ABBA. All these songs and all the things, the stereotypes tell us money is not good. So it's definitely not the same as life. Your life is beautiful. You're telling me monks, they have all the money in the world? No, but they're happy people. They're living well. They have the life they want. As long as you have the life you want, it's great. Any other question? Anybody else? I understand your question, but I'm trying to understand, what do you want to know? Whether I have crores or lakhs or millions in my account? Is that what you want to know? Because on a live stream, I'm definitely not sharing that. But in terms of achievement, I can tell you, Tushar, I have been in this industry for the last 14 years. I have won a couple of accolades, awards. I have 4 shows, most sponsored. I do have my own app, which obviously needs to be paid for. So you need to have enough money to be able to do that. I do a lot of coaching sessions with celebrities and the Forbes and Fortune 500 organizations and companies in leadership, performance coaching. So technically, I can say I have money, if that's what you want to know. You're welcome. Well, anything else? Don't ask me for my bank statement, please. Anybody? And Tushar, I should also tell you one more thing. There you go. Karina's just asked the question that I wanted to answer. So thanks, Karina, for that. I learned about this because I read a lot. And it's not like I had this mentality from the very beginning. And that's exactly why I'm telling you that it's taken me a couple of years to create the abundant mindset, even for myself. Okay. It's not like I was born with it. I come from a regular, modest family. I have had needs taken care of, but I'm working myself since the age of 16 because I want to. Okay. And I think the idea of struggle and the idea of success is sweeter when you had your own struggles and you're not struggling on the basis of other people. So I learned this by reading about money psychology, money EQ, understanding that a large part of what we do has to do with the rewiring of our mind, of our brain. Like, for example, if you take a minute right now and think of a positive thought, all of you, just take a minute, close your eyes, and think of a positive, nice thought, a joyous moment in your life. Once you have, please just put it down in the chat box for me. Can you hear me? BD? Okay, now, sorry about that. I don't know what must have happened, but did you listen to what I said? All right, let me repeat myself. Did you take a moment and close your eyes, guys? If you can do that, close your eyes for a moment. Think of a joyous, happy moment in your life, really happy moment in your life, and please put it in the chat box for me. Thank you. Voice is cutting. My network doesn't seem to have a problem. Hi, can you hear me, guys? Yes, I am. Okay. So where was I? I said close your eyes, think about a joyous moment, and please share it with me in the chat box once you do. Okay. Family, holiday, dinner. What about everybody else? Excellent. No, anything, absolutely anything that makes you happy. A joyous moment. First job. Tushar, what about you? Amira, my dog. That's cute. When I hosted a party for the first time, not being very extroverted. The extroverted is a little overrated, you know. Introverts are great orators, but that's a conversation for another time. So I'm not going to get there right now. Okay, great. Do you know what happens when you think of a joyous moment in your life? There's a study. No, I'm not an extrovert. I am pretty much an introvert. I speak when I'm spoken to, And I'm happy to be like that actually. And what is with an extrovert? It's fine. I mean, nonetheless. Okay, so now I'm coming back to your question, but let me just quickly tell you that when you land up thinking of a joyous moment in your life, what really happens? What happens is, as per our research, you are in a position to be able to solve a nice piece of puzzle 15% more quicker. Why? Because your brain plasticity has increased a little, your perspective has stretched a little, and positive thoughts give more horizon to your mind. You're honestly in a position to do better, take better decisions with your life, make hard choices if you have to, be able to act emotionally intelligent, be appropriate, deal with conflicts better, manage people's emotions better, do a lot of other things much better if you're able to think of something positive every single day. And my only concern with money is that it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing that we have to be able to, first and foremost, it never existed. We made it. We made it exist. So now that it exists, we're using it. We have to use it to our advantage. We have to use it to our liking. It doesn't have to be fearful and anxious all the time. There will be days, there will be times, but what matters even in those times is your approach towards it. Nothing's changing. The use is the same. EMIs, loans, this, weddings and FDs and travel and work and all of that. It's the same. Nothing's changing. But the mindset, the approach towards something like money must change. And thank you, Sudha. That's a big compliment from you. Thank you so much. No, you don't have to be. I'm going to digress a little bit for you. But introverts and extroverts are sort of stereotyped for no reason. It's a pointless sort of stereotypical behavioral pattern that we associate people to, which is incorrect. Ambivert, yes, absolutely, Tushar, that's great. Let me tell you, extroverts are known to talk a lot, not speak a lot, talk a lot, which means they can blabber. Like, you go on a date and you stereotypically meet a girl who says, I'm very bubbly and very talkative. But you might not enjoy conversation with her because, मतलब सेंस कहाँ पर है, थोड़ा सेंस भी तो होना चाहिए. तो जरूरी नहीं है कि हर एक्सट्रोवर्ट में सेंस हो और उनकी हर बात में सेंस हो. Whereas an introvert, the problem with them is they're too shy or reserved, or they do not like to communicate often, which makes them sound like they're bad with communication, but that's not true. That's not true at all. It does not mean introverts are bad with communication. It just means they choose not to communicate. And unfortunately, because we've been trained and conditioned to think that introverts are shy people and they're bad with communication, they themselves start thinking like that, that, oh my God, because I'm an introvert and I'm shy, I'm not confident enough to communicate. And an extrovert thinks because I'm confident, I can communicate. But actually, that's not true. Introverts and extroverts, sub side pe rakho. Learn this simple rule in life. Okay? Talk less, speak more. That's all. Apart from when you're with your friends and you have to blabber and you're probably having a chilled out time, that's separate. But if you want to make sense, talk less, speak more. And just remember that confidence has nothing to do with you being an introvert or an extrovert or an ambivert for that matter. All right. Any more questions for me? Anything else I can assist you with? Thoughts on money? Can you please do that exercise for me? It'll be great. I mean, I really would love, absolutely. Thank you, Tushar. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I really hope you guys can take this opportunity and take this conversation home and just kind of let it absorb कि यार जरीना बोल क्या रही थी, हम समझ क्या रहे थे, कि हमको पैसे के बारे में सोचना क्या है. That's it. If you can do this much today, it's my achievement and it's yours. And I promise you that wealth is out there. Money is flowing for you right now. Money is flowing to you right now. All you have to do is welcome it with open arms, with no fear, with no anxiety, and with no guilt. Enjoy what's coming and also enjoy what goes. That's what you do with money. Yeah, I know I can't believe it too, but I am absolutely antisocial. Very antisocial. Okay. So BD, save money like you do. It's a great thing. And also, please spend on yourself when you should, and thank the money when you spend. Because people who save a lot, they don't want to thank money when they spend it, by the way. I hope you're not one of those. So, yes. Okay, guys. Any more questions for me? Anything else that I can answer here? All done? Thank you. And do not forget to arigato your money. Arigato in, arigato out. Go back, write 3 things that you were happy to spend your money on today. Don't forget to do that. Thanks very much. You guys have been a great, wonderful set of participants. And I've really enjoyed myself with you. Thank you. You can follow me, by the way, on Instagram. And you can also connect with me if you have more questions at any point in time. That's my handle. And this is my podcast. Thank you.